Okay, with my previous Myers-Manx projects I've done, and the purple one that I'm going to be going back to, I use a Dune Buggy Brothers wiring harness. Skippy puts out this product that is, not comparable to anything else. Its price got a little bit of a price hike on it, but it's definitely still going to be worth it. But on the budget Dune Buggy build, I want to try, like I said, I'm trying to keep my expenses down, and I always have spare wiring harness laying around. So today we're going to look at wiring harness, what I'm going to try and figure out. We're going to compare that, how brakes and sprinkler systems work. So if that's something you're interested in, let's get started. Okay, I'm back on the budget buggy build. And actually, I'm working on 3 different projects at the same time. I'm working on the electrical, I'm working on the brakes, and I'm also working on a drip system for my sprinklers. The reason why I'm bringing that up, because they're all technically related. Okay, so back to the budget buggy build. I always keep a box of electrical wires and switches and cables, whatever I take off of these Dune buggies and I don't use. And I'm trying to keep, like I said, the budget down as much as I can on this. And I dug up a couple of wiring harnesses that were used on other buggy kits. Okay, and it's so basic. I'm going to try and explain to you how it works now. So I need power to the motor, which is going to go right to the alternator. Then I need power to the starter switch, which is going to go there. From the alternator, it'll jump to the battery. That's separate. I need green for generator, blue for oil pressure switch, and then I need black for coil. So I've got all that covered. On the other side, I need tail lights. I need left and right turn signal, and I need a brake light. I wish it had one more wire on it, give me 5 wires so I could have double, brake light and tail light on a different circuit. Okay, so that's a basic one. Going even more basic, this is just an engine wire harness from the front to the back, where you're not gonna have a speedometer, you're just gonna have oil pressure switch, oil pressure switch, generator, then you need coil, starter, and then a couple of spare ones, maybe for electric fuel pump or something else. That's basic. And then you'll just run a thick red wire from the battery to the starter. Okay, so those are the 2 basic ones. Now, how it relates to brake systems, or to finish the electrical system. So each one of these sends a signal, like I said, tail light, oil pressure, blah, blah, blah. On the brakes, it's the same thing. As soon as I activate the pedal, it's going to send fluid to each one of my brakes, telling it what it needs to do, and then also one on a brake light switch here, which will send a light. So the way they work the same is, look at this as a switch, and look at this as electrical lines, and look at this as a light. Exactly the same. So now with my sprinklers that I'm working on, it's the same thing. I've got a switch here to turn it on and off, and look at these as my electrical wires that I want to go to my tomato plant, I want to go to my pepper plant, I want to go to my cucumber plant. Works the same thing. So the water and the electrical is about the same. Okay, so what I've chose is this thicker one, because on this build I want to be able to run, like I said, turn signals, taillights, and everything. So I ran this just across the pan to the back of the motor and started hooking these up where I know they're going to go. So like I said, big red one's going to go to the alternator. I had this one was short, so I just put a white one on it. I'm using the green to the generator. This red one's going to go to the starter switch, right? Then the blue one's going to go down to the oil pressure switch, and the black one is going to give power to the coil. Super simple. I come over to the other side, same thing. I'll use this yellow for tail light. I'll use this purple for brake light. And then I have left and right turn signals here. So it's going to be super, super simple, super, super basic. So the only thing right now that I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this as a harness and figure out someplace around here, this is all going to go into a fuse block. And then from there, each one will go into switches. Even though I don't have the body on and I'm not ready to do that just yet, I'm kind of trying to figure out what I want to do. I still have to drill the dash and do a few other things like that. So for now, I'm going to wrap all these up, and I've got to get back to the brakes because I want to get my new wheel cylinders in so I can get these brakes bled and get the handbrake and all that kind of working. And then hopefully on the episode, we will be putting the body back on and then figuring out what to do for taillights. I was at the swap meet over the weekend. I was able to get a couple of the pieces that I need really cheap, so I could keep the same interest of this build and keeping it, you know, low budget. I did not have any motor mounts going on under here, so I was able to come up with a $10 solid mount. That's going to take care of that issue. I'm putting together another motor, so I found some single port tins pretty cheap. This intake manifold is already powder coated. Got an oil cooler and a couple of tail light bulb holders, another license plate light, and a couple of 009s. And then, of course, some Coleman stuff. So we're going to get this motor taken out. I'm going to put the solid mount on it. And then we've got to put a clutch in there because right now it's just a flywheel with no clutch on it. And then we'll run the rest of the cables through, and then we'll be ready to put the body back on. So, all right, I've got the body kicking back here with a couple of my other projects. And let me climb underneath and show you the tubes it has for the wiring harnessed. Okay, and up underneath the body, you can see it does have these wiring tubes. I mean, the Manx's didn't look like this, but this does have wiring tubes that's going to run all the way through on both sides, and I'm going to be able to run the harnessed in. And then just have it come back. I'll have it also block from here maybe. All right, that's a look from underneath. It's going to be pretty simple. All right, that's going to be it for this one. Like I said, just kind of figuring out what we want to do on the wiring and get things ready to roll to put the body back on, and then we will get back to the purple buggy. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Come along with me on this venture as I work on my buggies and do pretty much anything I want in my retirement. Thanks for watching Filet TV. Ciao.